Okay, so let's check what's wrong. Hand is down. Everything seems right. But what was that? Rebuild. Again, there's a problem over there. Anyway, we can sort that out in scanning. So one of the reasons that this will happen is that you saw that the advanced skeleton is too tiny, and I scaled it up. Maybe if I scale the model, so if I undo that again, if I scale the model down, and so to fit, so let's say the advanced skeleton in 1, so you see that it has scaling attributes. I go to 1 and I rescale the model to fit in that. Okay, so maybe that works better. I don't know, maybe it was because of that scaling problem. Okay, we should be fine. Before starting, I just freeze this. You see that the scaling for the model is 10 to 0.1. I just freeze it and it becomes 1. So let's create rebuild advanced skeleton. Hopefully it works now. You stupid. So the guides are, let's have a look at group. The main fit skeleton. I'm gonna turn on fit skeleton display show selection. Wow. Oh no, that's not that one. Oh, so it seems that it has a conflict with my human HIK. So it has used human HIK here. So that's why I think it's the reason. So I'm gonna delete the human HIK that we did. Okay, so we just have fit skeleton here. I am going to delete okay, so the human HIK we did for the child was that one. I'm gonna delete that. Hopefully it works fine. Go advanced skeleton. No. No. What's the problem? So what I do is let's see if I delete it and make it again. Probably the very basic thing. So I import it and I just reposition them. Okay, hand here, and I'll just do it quickly, don't worry. I just want to make sure that the problem is from where, and that one up and down. Okay, so let's see if it works. Build. Yeah, so for some reason, the advanced, so it's good to know that. I didn't know that. It's good to know that now. Advanced skeleton had some issue with human HIK, so don't use them together. So you see that it gives you a nice skeleton, a nice rig. It has all of, so it's much more complex and much more complete than what you had in human HIK. So you have all the body and stuff here. You realize that I didn't do the hands properly, so just that's the same thing as with it. So how can I skin it? This is important because a normal skinning. So so you see that it creates some sets. A control set. It selects all the control joints and deform sets. So these are the joints that has to be skinned. So I click on the deform sets and I press up. It selects all the joints that are supposed to be rigged, to be skinned. And then I shift select the body and I go to the rigging, and let me just check if there's recording. Yeah, it's all good. Rigging, skin, bind skin. So you will see that this default bind skin has some issues. Like, so look at that. So the body doesn't work. Or here you will see that. So I'm going to turn off the X-ray. So you will see that, yeah, there's a lot of issue here. That's why I undo this, the binding. Okay. So that's why some guy few years ago created a really nice algorithm for skinning. It's called Delta Mush. It's been embedded into Maya now. So inside deform you have this Delta Mush here as well. But before that, a person called Weber Hong, he created that. The one that Advanced Skeleton suggests you to use so it has a couple of different options for deformation. So like using skinning method, like using a cage, using a sub warp. So you can try all of that. But the one that I use today now is this Delta Mush one. So I select all of the joints. Let me just X-ray joints. So deform set up, I select them, shift select the body, and I skin it, bind the skin. So weight maps. So you know that you have to bind the skin and you start to. So shift right click, or it was control. Yeah, control right click, paint skin weight. So you have to, for example. So here, if that doesn't work, the classic way of fixing it is you select the mesh. So you know that these joints are pushing the body inside. So, and they are not supposed to do that. So you deform the mesh, select the body, control right click, paint a skin weight tool, and you go and find that joint. So they are, so like they are scapula, no, spine, neck is that one. Okay, yeah, there it is. So scapula is fine. Shoulder is not supposed to push that here. So I say the value 0 and I start to paint it. So you see that it fixes a lot of things. So if I start to cleaning it up. So shoulder is not supposed to move. Things. Okay, maybe this here should be moved by shoulder, but let's move on to the shoulder part 1. So again, 0, nothing here, nothing here. Part 2, nothing should be affected at all. Elbow, at nothing at all. Okay, so now you see that with the classical way of it, manually, I just fixed the skinning on this part, but it contradicts my rule of laziness. So because I have to go over every piece and just fix them one by one. So what I do, I just use Delta Mush. It fixes not 100%, but it helps a lot. So this is an skinned mesh. So I click the first one, harden weights. So let's look at the weights map. You will realize that what it does. So let me just go through. Okay, so these are all soft. Okay, so when I click on that, bing, 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 bing. I hope Maya doesn't crash. So you see that here it says hardening VTX weights. So what does it do? It just voxelizes your model and then tries to like assign the minimum amount of weights to them. So the early versions of Maya had a rigid skinning method that it's not included in the new versions of Maya. But this Delta Mush seems that works with that rigid skinning. So that's why this algorithm works with that. So let's wait. Okay, you see that the weights are not soft anymore. They are like really hard. Now I apply Delta Mush. And hopefully, yeah, you see, by just 2 clicks, it should work properly. Yeah. Miraculously quick and fast. You see, the elbow is a really hard one, but it works fine. So yeah, that's a really quick way to skin, because skin paint weighting is a really tough job to do. Oh, so there's a problem here. So yeah, you have to fix it anyway. Skin weight tool, elbow, no, knee. Knee left. Okay, so I go to the soft, smooth. I lock everything. So when you skin weight tool, make sure that you lock everything else. So I select them all. You can select all of them and you lock them. So they are all locked, you see. And now in the knee left, I just want to work on these 3. These 3. I unlock these 3. Maybe not even ankle. I lock ankle as well. So just these 2. And I soften them. So I go to the smooth one, and you can flood it. Oh, here it doesn't work. You see that? It solves the issue on top, but creates some issue here. Maybe if I soften this part, I should paint. I should, instead of, okay, I should paint it manually. Yeah. So you see that you cannot be 100% lazy. You have to do just a bit of painting anyway. So yeah, that's better now. Okay, so we just rigged the character with advanced skeleton. Advanced skeleton is really good in terms of so this is a really crucial tool that I'm going to talk about. It's called HIK switch. So let's say you just animate up to here, and now you say, okay, I want to switch to IK. So when you do that, you see that, oh, IK is somewhere else, so they don't match up. So there is it has a interface, advanced skeleton, so, and that's this picker one. So just open that. It's a terrible interface. I don't like it, but that works anyway. So I just select this one, and I say switch FK IK. Bang! You see that it switched to the IK without changing anything. So you can work with the IK from now on. So it's a very important tool. And how to, so there's a ton of tutorial by the guy who creates advanced skeleton on YouTube. He keeps updating them. Skeleton. A very generous person. It's free to use for educational purposes. So the picker tool has been explained here for games, facial rigging. We will talk about that later, but we don't bother for facial for now. But just make sure that you go through that. So quick rigging with advanced skeleton, and okay. So I'm going to delete that and go to the third character and rig it with the other one. So yeah, so it has referenced a I'm gonna delete that. Okay, delete all of them, delete. Okay, now I want to rig this character. Let me just make it smaller, 1/10, with the mGear, with the other one, with the latest tool. Let me just freeze it first. Okay, how to install mGear? We downloaded that. So Maya mGear installation. You have to copy. So you see that yeah. Here he explains the installation here for you. Framework, no, that's not the one. Anyway, I just want, okay. So this is how you install it, if I remember correctly. mGear. You have here, you have all these scripts and stuff. What you have to do is to copy them into your project folder, into the script folder. So we have scripts here, we have platform. Let me just have a look at to make sure. Okay, so this is how it works. I just copy that somewhere. So make sure that you copy somewhere proper, because it will stay there. I just changed in. Yeah, just copy it here in documents Maya. I copy it here, and I recommend you to change this versioning to some just mGear. because once you get the updated version, you just overwrite here. So, and then here in your 2017, Maya has a environment variable. So when you just open it with a notepad, so a really nice notepad that I use is called Notepad Plus. It just Notepad Plus. It's pretty much like Notepad, but it distinguishes colors and stuff like that. So let me install that. It's quick, just 2 megabytes. Install it. Good, thank you. So, and mGear in 2000. So Maya environment, drag and drop it. So I'm gonna close that one. Drag and drop it to Notepad Plus. Yeah, you see that there's nothing here. Maya environment is blank. So as Miguel said, Maya underscore module underscore path. If I'm right, let's have a look at his video again. Was it Maya module path? Yeah, Maya module path is equal to the address that I have copied, the mGear. So I have copied mGear into here. So I copy this address here and I save it. Hopefully, if I open Maya, call it rigging test. So we have to close and open Maya once. Yeah, there it is, mGear added. Great. So work Maya, please work. So now I import my model. If stupid Maya works for me. Okay, file. Oh no, not that one. Okay, we're gonna. So you see that mGear has been added here. So pretty much the same thing. You just go to the mGear shifter. So the shifter is the name of the. So Advanced Skeleton has this GUI, GUI. Shifter is the GUI for mGear. So it adds it here. You can drag and drop it into your in other environments or just separately. So you can start creating like different parts of the body, like mouth, neck, shoulder, leg. It has a chain spring for tail. It has a very beautiful dynamic tail. But I just import a simple rig, rigging. Where is the import? I just want to import import biped guy. So it's not as extensive as so it's just 3.8 megabytes as you saw. It's not as complex as Advanced Skeleton, but it works a lot better. It's a lot more solid and professional. So it has biped and quadruped if you just want to do it quickly. So I just use a biped. So it gives me a biped. Let's adjust it. what I do, no, it's just import biped guide. Yeah, biped guide. I just delete half of it. You know, you will see why I do that. I just go to the X-ray again. No object selected. I start to delete half of it because I just adjust one half and then duplicate it. You see that the positioning of the, oops, not that one. Okay, this is the middle of the body. Hip, knee should be here. So the history of ankle should be history of this mGear. Why it's called M, what's that M? So there was a gear long ago, Softimage gear. It was like kind of the best automatic rigging of that time. But it was for Softimage. So many projects like Pocoyo, Jelly Jam, so and many other companies like Meal, they were using this automatic rigging system. It's been developed by a generous guy, Jeremy Passerin. He's a French guy, and once Softimage stopped developing, he stopped developing that. And then after a few years, this new guy has made a Maya version of it. Okay, so let's quickly readjust everything. So you see that it says, what is this one in the middle? It's the local root. That's the heel of the foot. This is, so these are you will see that if you properly position them, you will get a really nice movement on. So this trick is the only one that I see has a proper movement of the feet, and I will show you why it seems so. Foot location, it's here. It's for the toe. Maybe I position that like here around slightly. That's all good. The direction of the foot is like that, and I can select that and I say duplicate symmetry, and it gets duplicated. Now let's do the, okay, so this is the middle of the chest. Did I select it? No. Okay, so this is shoulder. It's gonna be here around you can rotate from here, so it's easier. So make sure that you do most of your stuff with rotation rather than transformation, because calculation of the rig works mostly with the rotation of joints. Okay, this is called wrist, so it's going to be positioned here. Yes, this is arm UI. So there's a couple of UI. Make sure that you position them where you want. So for the arm here, for the spine here, for the feet, it's too far from the feet. You can bring it closer. It should be closer again as well. Okay, and let's do the fingers. So this is one finger. Second one, we have to do, what's that? Okay, third one. Where's the fourth? Let's bring them in anyway. Hey fingers, come here. Okay. So I don't do the fingers properly. So again, imagine that you you go and position them properly one by one on every joint that is needed. I just do it quickly on one of them. Okay, imagine that you do the rest properly, especially thumb, which is an important finger for expressions. And okay, and that one, which is thumb, and that one is called thumb roll root. What is that? The other one, it's called meta. Yeah. So we position every. So I don't do the fingers properly. So just imagine that you just go there and do them one by one properly in the right position. Anyway, so just so. So once it's ready, let's do the neck and head as well. Up. This is called neck, so it should be positioned on the beginning of the neck, not the body. So it should be like here around. So this is this defines the neck blade. I mean the direction of the neck. Neck transformation, maybe here. What's that? Spine UI. UI should be out of the body. What's that? Arm UI. We have adjusted that. Neck transformation. So this is the end of the neck, and that one is like middle of the head. You will see that there is like a nice tongue joints here, so you can use it for animating the tongue of your character. It's a very helpful tool. Jaw, and these are for the mouth, and this is the eye root, so it should come right in the middle. I delete the other one, and I look here and I duplicate symmetry this one, and this is the tip of the head, and that's the face UI. Okay, everything is set. You just go and say, so these are the guides, and didn't duplicate that one. Duplicate symmetry. Okay, all ready, and just guide build from selection. Just make sure to save it before that. Build from selection, and wait, and wait, and wait, and wait. Okay, there you are. So this is the rig that mGear provides us. I just turn off the visibility of joints so you can see the rig better. What I use for skinning my character, even when I use mGear, is using advanced skeleton for skinning. So I do the same process. So rig deformers group up, shift select the mesh, and so you see that you can use these tools together. So I go to the So let's skin it first. Okay, yeah, I have to skin it first. Rigging, skin, bind the skin, weight. It is skinned. Good. And now harden weights and then apply Delta Mush. We have to wait again. So if you want to make a tail, if your character has a tail, this chain works really nice. This chain is not dynamic, but chain spring is dynamic. I will show you after doing this. So let's say your character has this type of manga anime hair that they have you seen that? Like they have like a bunch of hair that has been flocked together. So you can have like 5 of them and then put a chain string and they move their head around and they interact. I will show you how. We have to wait again. Okay, now apply Delta Mush. That's all right. It should work fine now. What I always do after creating my auto rig, you see that many of these handles are not positioned properly. I just select them one by one. Go to the right click.